Hi, and welcome to True Tempo. This is, in a sense, a special edition. I'm calling this an Eternal Weekend North America special edition because that big event is coming up this weekend, and we just had the showcase as well, showcase challenge, giving us some fresh info on what people want to play when it matters the most. And therefore, I'm gonna present what I would play if I were available and in North America, what I would play in that event. That's what you have in front of you here. And before I get into that, I want to just mention some stats from the showcase. So let's see. We had 11 Reanimator decks in the top 32. We had 7 Stompy decks, 3 of them playing Blood Moon. We had 7 decks playing Bowmasters. I'm just mentioning important stats from my point of view, from the kind of tempo point of view. I think that you can play, if in my shoes, I would play either Reanimator or some kind of Izzet tempo strategy, and it's really close. The thing is that Reanimator is such a known entity that even if it is a very resilient deck, I think you are more likely to stumble upon opponents with a lot of main deck graveyard hate, or just some, and they draw it, and you lose game one, and it's tough. You're kind of in the bullseye of the format playing Reanimator, but the deck is not as strong, I think, as it was when it had the Troll, where you could kind of still just go ahead and try reanimating your Troll, and if you get Fermicab or something, you didn't lose a card doing so. Now you have to rely on Tamiyo to get there, or Murktide, without going down cards game one, and sideboarding is of course super interesting. It's really close, but I think I would play an Izzet deck and not Reanimator, but both are completely viable, I think, from a kind of a Daze Wasteland point of view. So back to the stats, you had oh sorry, I said 11 Reanimator decks. It's actually 10 Reanimator decks, but 11 decks with Barrogoyf. So Barrogoyf is in a third of the top of the metagame in this showcase challenge, and that's something I think might be true as well for a paper event. I think you'll have maybe less Reanimator, at least in the starting rounds, but maybe more or less the same number in the latter rounds of Eternal Weekend. So Reanimator is definitely important to focus on in whatever deck you're playing, whether it's the Mirror because you are playing Reanimator, or whether you're playing something else. Then I mentioned that we had 7 decks with Bowmasters. It's 4 of them are Reanimator, mostly in the sideboard of those. You have 2 Dimir Tempo and 1 Mardu Energy. So 7 decks, that's almost 25%. It's a decent chunk. And the reason why I mentioned that is because Delver is worse when there are Bowmasters. One player did make the top 8 with Delver in an Izzet shell, so kudos. And they play 3 Cori-Steel Cutter. I was about to say mini cutter because that's what I call it when I play like you see here. When I play fewer numbers, and I like that. So I'm pretty much on the same page as that person. Daniel Lacos is the name on Magic Online, more or less. So as I said, 7 zombie decks, only 3 of them playing Blood Moon. So 7 is also almost 25%. So as far as I see it, the top of the metagame at least on Magic Online is Reanimator. It's a decent amount of Bowmaster Baragorth and a decent amount of Ancient Tomb, but not so much Blood Moon. A couple of control decks, but not that much. You had some Mystic Forge in those Ancient Tomb numbers. So all that being said, I think it's pretty close whether you should play Delver or Tamiyo. But I think for me, it's slightly advantage by Tamiyo because yeah, it's just you don't lose a lot of equity playing Tamiyo. It's kind of the safe solution, whereas Delver is better against Ancient Tomb, but you are quite far behind if the opponent plays Bowmasters. So it's kind of the safe choice, but I could definitely see playing Delver as well if you think the numbers are low on Bowmasters. So Eternal Weekend is paper, so I do think that some things change from Magic Online to paper. You'll have more kind of pet decks, decks that people have played for years, like Stoneblade, like Green-White Depths, 4-color control, decks you rarely see online. Generally, I think the paper format is more open, but people will still be targeting Reanimator. Well, they should, and I think they will. But you're likely to play against a lot of different decks, at least in the earlier rounds. So that means also more Nadu. I think Nadu Breakfasts. These are popular decks, and well, it's just something to keep in mind. I think an Izzet strategy is it's not something that people are specifically prepared for. You get some splash damage, but from like Endurance and Hydroblast, like a Cutter, like the Cori-Steel Cutter, 4-off deck is definitely a played deck, but it's not a big percentage of the metagame. So people will have some Hydroblast here and there, but that's okay. It's just a 1/1. So let me go through the deck. This is a Izzet Splash Black, and the black is for Molten Collapse, which is a pretty key part of the build. I played a version of this in the last league I played. I actually wanted to record that, but I had to concede a round because I had to take care of my son, who is sleeping now. You might hear some noises. He's on just below the camera. But anyway, that went really well. I won my other 4 rounds, and the deck was sweet, like playing Tamiyo and everything else. I just played 2 Unholy Heats instead of the 4th Bolt and the Collapse, and a straight Izzet mana base. But the thing is that Baragorth and Chalice are headaches that you can kind of solve with Molten Collapse, as the same as my buddy Echo Baronin mentions in his Grix's videos. He likes to play like a more cutter based for cutter, but also splashing collapse. And so those decks, like his deck and this deck, is quite similar. But I prefer to have all my good 1-drops and then fewer 2-drops, fewer cutters. And beyond that, it's very similar. But yeah, Molten Collapse, taking care of Baragorth and Chalice is sweet. It also takes care of a flip Tamiyo, or like a Tamiyo and a Blue token. It does a lot of work, and then you get a worse mana base, which is, that's why I mentioned only 3 Blood Moon. It's kind of a price to pay against Blood Moon, also in the Wasteland mirrors, but you don't see that much tempo actually. You see Reanimator, they play Wasteland, but it's like they play 2 or 3 Wastelands usually, so it's not a real Wasteland deck in the sense of a tempo mirror. So the price, I think, right now is mostly that you can't have as many like Chandler Bolt draws where you have 2 Volcanics. It would be slightly at a disadvantage playing your spells on time from time to time. But the deck isn't that heavy red. You know, it has these 8 8 red cards, so I think it's okay. The Black Splash also allows for this small pre-board against the graveyard, 1 Spell Bomb, and I've chosen to play 1 Hearse because there aren't that many threats in the deck that attack, and I think Hearse is a great card in many ways. But that could be aligned a bit differently, for sure. So I also have a version of the deck up here where I just play 2 Cutters main, 4 Baubles, and so no pre-sideboarding against the graveyard. Let's see. This means like putting these Hearse and Spellbomb, these 2 cards in the main, gives me a bit more space in the sideboard. I have the space to fit in a Pithing Needle, which is nice against the Nadu decks, against Saga, against a lot of stuff, lands, sneak attack. It really comes in handy against a lot of stuff. Death and Taxes can say Vial. So I think in the paper metagame, that's pretty sweet to have access to. And yeah, otherwise the sideboard is pretty straightforward. These 7 cards are what a Pyroblast, Fair Macabre, and Molten Collapse is what I would sideboard against Reanimator. I would board out 1 Bolt, 2 Baubles, a Wasteland, a Daze, Force of Negation, and 1 Force of Will. Yeah, that's with 4 cards against the graveyard and 3 cards that take care of Barragoyf. I'm okay going down a Force of Will. Plenty of cards that handle Tamiyo. Yeah, and then Cori-Steel Cutter, the extra in the sideboard, is for playing tempo mirrors and against control. Pretty sweet to have another one of those lurking around. And I think that's enough. So yeah, this is the deck that I would recommend if you were to play a Daze Wasteland strategy at Eternal Weekend. Now I'm going to play a league. Let's see how it goes. And see if it can get some wins. All right, round 1, I won the die roll, and my opponent played Merfolk last 2 times, and before that, a bunch of Necro Dominance. So those are 2 decks, and now they have a Yorion. Now they have a Yorion revealed. That's interesting. Like, I have very bad hands. I'm gonna mulligan. This is just too much air, I think. Okay, well, another mulligan coming up. And I'll keep. So, with their history, like this urine, it could mean a lot of different things. For some reason, I'm thinking about there's Creative Technique list that made that won a challenge last week or the week before with Yorion, and with their history of playing Necro Dominance, I could kind of see that. But yeah, it's a tough sell. I'm gonna keep. Like that read is pretty far out, I guess. I'm gonna get rid of the force and do a kind of like Hearse is usually bad against Urian, so gonna get rid of that, I guess. Yeah. So let's see what the Bauble gives us of info. Okay, it's just Death and Taxes. Dahlia, that's a tough matchup, and on a mulligan, it's pretty abysmal. I like the land, but these borrowers are bad. Okay, gonna have to work for our win from the get-go here. Like when you play Tempo, the actually bad matchups are Death and Taxes, lands, like Euro control, which you hardly ever see these days. Not, I don't think Grixis control and Jeskai control is actually bad matchups. I think they are not bad matchups, but they you have to really work for your wins against those matchups for sure. But the fact that they don't have that much card advantage, and you can kind of beat that card advantage on the stack with your Pyroblast and Hydroblast, countering Flame of Anor or something. Similar, Call Against Command, some kind of Planeswalker. Makes those matchups fine. But Death and Taxes is pretty horrible. Yeah. They have an awesome late game. They can punish like they have kind of incounterability with the Vial. They have card advantage, plenty of removal to get to the late game between Skyclave, Swords, Solitude, even like Flicker Wisp. Are they gonna bounce? When are they gonna bounce? Okay, they're gonna bounce now. Fine. I was not gonna fetch because maybe they were afraid of Brainstorm. Bolt. I mean, it's good against their deck, but I think I want to just like finding a Brainstorm would be good to flip Tamiyo right away. What I can do is waste and play a Murktide. I think that's decent. Murktide is probably not long for this world, but it's worth a shot. And then maybe I can play Tamiyo at some point where I can flip it. Maybe they don't have any more Caracas. Yeah. See ya. Yeah, so these games, winning against Death and Taxes is only gonna happen if you have some kind of aggressive draw. And this, without Delva, I'm definitely less likely to be aggressive. Tamiyo can be bounced, but if I can flip it, if they have a Stoneforge, I'm gonna concede because it's just too much. Okay, I'm just gonna see what they find, and then I'm gonna concede. Keldra complete, yeah. All right. Well, it doesn't get much better after sideboarding. Unfortunately, they might have some small upgrades. Well, without any doubt, because they're a Urian deck, so I'm sure they have a few bad cards in there, and can board in some generic removal or even graveyard interaction. Like I'm looking, like Molten Collapse can, like in theory, take a creature and a vial. Pithing Needle can stop the vial. Meltdown is pretty bad, like 2 mana answering a vial. Consign is decent at countering Solitudes and all their other triggered abilities. Spellbound Hearse is bad. Wasteland is also quite bad. Can cut one of those. Brazen is also quite bad. The thing is that Brazen can bounce the Culture Complete token, but I guess I shouldn't bank too much on that as a I'd rather kind of handle the Stoneforge. And then I have something pretty decent lined up here. I don't really love Daze in the matchup, but I think I have to create games where Daze is good. I have to win early. That means playing games where Daze is good, and just accept that the late game is not in my favor. Maybe 3 collapse is too much. And maybe I can cut a Force of Will. I think that's okay. And then I'll change a Daze for a Force on the draw. Yeah. But even flipping Tamiyo is, they have Skyclave to handle that, and just attacking. So yeah, there are no simple ways to achieve a win. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna Bauble myself. I'd like to find another land. Okay, so I'm gonna fetch a Surveil land, I think. I could also get an island so I can Brainstorm. Yeah, that Surveil land is pretty bad with the Daze as well. But like the Wasteland is gonna be good no matter what. I think I'm gonna assure my island here though. Okay. Okay. Just gonna. The question is, when do I Brainstorm? I think I'm gonna wait. Try to dig deeper. Potentially, if I don't find the land, it's over no matter what. That's why I don't want to Brainstorm end of turn, because I really need to dig just as deep as possible. Okay, sweet. And I guess the Force of Will is not necessary normally, since I can stop the... I'm gonna feel like the Daze is gonna be good, but so is Bolt, so I'm gonna get rid of Daze and Force and get the Needle into play. Could also wait. Play Chandler, but I'm gonna do it like this. Chandler isn't that impressive yet. And if they play black, I don't want it getting bowmastered that easily. Like, I don't want to give them a good target when this is a meaningful play. Taking 1 mana off if they use if they play like Mother of Runes or Giver of Runes. I'm not completely aligned with how Death and Taxes looks these days, but I assume that you can have some 1-drops in a Urian list, even though it's slightly bad against... Yeah, here it is. Slightly bad against... Okay, sweet. That my Pithing Needle is doing that much work. So now I have a sweet Channel Bolt turn. Okay. I need... Well, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'd like to find more threats. I'd like to find a Murktide. That's often the case. I should yield to that, by the way. Now, they could definitely get rid of the Pilling Needle with the Skyclave, or maybe something else, the Witch Enchanter, the land. This one, yeah. Here's the Skyclave, sweet. Gonna bounce the island, I think. Bit lazy not getting the mana. Consign, I think. Should be decent. Should be decent. Like they have so many of these triggers, like Recruiter for whatever stuff they need. I think I'm gonna hold this island though. Recruiter, Solitude, another Skyclave. But I am in desperate need of something more to start attacking for 3 or to like find a Murktide. They don't play a land and these don't work, so they could have something. They could have a flash creature. I forgot the name. Something I can bold for sure. Actually, something I think that deals with the needle. What is it? Aphelia. Okay. I'll bold that one. Wasteland. I mean, it's decent, but I really want to get to Delirium. So I'm gonna play my land here so I can consign. And this game is pretty close to being in my favor. Wouldn't say it's there yet. They have 4 cards. Caracas, okay. Stoneforge. Guess I'll consign that. They could have something dangerous in hand, but think I should live with that. Or like accept that. Yes, that's perfect. So now hopefully my opponent said wow. That means, I guess that means I'm doing the right things. Now Ponder is gonna be Delirium. Don't need that. Nor that. Gonna open my graveyard here. So Daze is sweet. If I take the blue card, I have Force of Will. I attack for 6. They go to 9. I play a Channeler. And then, yeah, I'm gonna play it like that, I think. I could also just draw the Channeler and then have lethal in play, but no protection. But I think that's it's a bit risky. I think this is better. I'm a bit soft if they have like a lion sash. Or completely soft. But that would just be life. Life that I would be okay accepting. Okay, so they go to 5. They can go. Yeah, this still doesn't work. I was just. For a brief moment, I forgot about Needle. Needle is my lifesaver this game for sure. Otherwise, they would. Whatever they have in hand would be uncounterable. Yorion would be uncounterable and enough to beat me. Um, let's see what this is. Flicker Wisp. Can get rid of Needle for a turn. I can't accept that. That can open up the door to bad things. Okay. Nice. And do your worst. If they have an answer to Needle, that they might be able to. If they have, yeah, it's like bound, like playing Solitude, and I don't think they have enough mana to do everything to survive. But let's see. No, okay. Sweet. Didn't really. I don't think anything has changed. I prefer just having my collapses for as a 2-mana answer to with potential upside to Elevile and not play Meltdown. Meltdown is sometimes completely dead. Gonna keep, but I mean it looks good, but I have the feeling that it might be a bit too slow without any counter magic on the draw. Okay, so that's, to me, that smells like swords. And when I drew the Brainstorm, I'm gonna save my Tamiyo and just play the Chandler. Yeah. Okay. That happened. Wasteland, okay. Do they have a 1-drop here? No. They could have more swords, but maybe not. Cutter. How do we play now? I think I'm gonna get the island and just play Tamiyo. Except that they can plow it. Now, if they have path, it'll be good. Okay. Nothing happened. Let's see if they have a Caracas. Like, if I had had a Bauble, I would be somewhat. I think they have a failure here. Let's attack. Attack and Brainstorm. Brainstorm is going to be good regardless. Okay, they had the path. And I don't have an island, so that's unfortunate. Okay. I'm gonna assume I don't get wasted again and play the Chandler, but not the Bauble. And next turn, play Cutter, Bauble. What am I not interested in? Like maybe maybe this land drop is not that interesting. Okay. Would have been awesome to not have a island already in play when they pathed me here. Lion Sash. I can beat that with bolts. It's pretty intensive for them. They can... How much of a problem is this? I can beat it in many ways. It's only, like, it's good against Chandler. I think I'm just gonna accept this. I think that land is too slow. That is maybe okay. Yeah, I have a clue token as well. A vial coming up, a bit slow. So I can attack here freely. They can trade. If they boost the Lion Sash. I don't assume they want to do that, no. So I hope I don't have to force. Because then I won't be able to really get my vial is fine. Okay. I assume they're blocking. Now I can bolt in response to the first activation, which is awesome. Force. I mean, it is decent. It is decent because I have a force to pair it with. I guess I prefer to have the Daze then. Now, how do I play? Do I just... Do I just play... I can bolt them. Like fetch. I think I'm gonna fetch regardless. I can bolt them to get a token attacking. And okay, sweet. They think they're afraid of Murktide, but it doesn't make much sense because I can still play Murktide. Well, no, they can. It's true. If they activate 2 times, they it's true. They make sure I can't Murktide, so it's a good play. But when I have the bolts, don't want that. So now they'll reactivate Sash just to spend their mana, I guess. And they're definitely in trouble. Now, what do I get here? Do I get the Underground Sea? I don't think so. Not yet. So they have 1 mana for free on Vial and something that I can hopefully Daze of Force. Flicker Wisp. Okay. Flicker Wisp. It's not that strong, but dazing is just too tempting. And I could consider bolting them to get a token. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, they're gonna be basically dead, I think. Attach, sure, whatever. See if we can find a spell. No, I can't. Okay. But I'm definitely going wide. And Cutter is a spell for next turn. Solitude. Okay, well, solituding on this board is an awesome exchange for me, since I have so many small creatures. Let's see if they have a Vial. Like they could theoretically get there, I think, still. Anything kind of lifelinky, Battle Skull, Stoneforge, stuff like that. Let's see if I can get there. Okay, sweet. This should definitely do it. I'll just keep that on top as a blue card. Okay, what 2 cards? They haven't conceded yet. One thing can come with the what would the worst thing be? Something with lifelink? Okay. They don't have anything sweet. Got out of round 1 alive after a mulligan to 5. That is awesome. So Cori-Steel Cutter doing work, and yeah, never needed or never saw the Molten Collapse. But yeah, sweet. See you for round 2. All right, round 2, I win the die roll. Awesome. And my opponent played mono blue Cloud Post the last time, but otherwise they played a lot of tempo. So I have these. This is a. I'm gonna keep, but this is definitely if I'm playing against Wasteland, I'm at risk, and my Spellbomb and hers. Well, hers is good in the mirror, but Spellbomb is okay as well. But against the Cloud Post, it's really bad. But maybe my Brainstorm can save me. Wasteland, I'm gonna keep it. it's good against the Cloudpost deck, and it's just it makes me play. It allows me to play Hearse and/or Spellbomb. Let's see. Wasteland. Okay. Whoops. They force. Wow. So I guess they play with the Ponder. I guess they play Reanimate. Huh. I guess I'm gonna force back if it's that important. And that makes me happy to have the Hearse as a backup. Interesting. I'm still really weak to Tamiyo and Tamiyo, yeah. Maybe that was an argument for... Okay, well, I can Wasteland, or I can play Hearse. I think I'm gonna Wasteland and hope that they stop playing Magic. What a game. Once again. What a sweet beginning to a game. I feel at a disadvantage, but if the opponent has no more lands, I assume they feel the same. But it's obvious I don't have more lands, or at least not blue producing lands. If I can get this Tamiyo off the board. Swamp is strong. Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I'm gonna do it in the upkeep. I'm gonna fetch now. Doing in the upkeep to play around Force of Negation. Okay, so they have good mana. They have a clue token. They're definitely ahead, but Hearse and Spellbound being so strong in the matchup means that... okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna counter the animate that with my Spellbomb and play a Hearse. Hopefully around Daze. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So now my main deck hate is definitely pulling its weight. They draw a card, sure. And now the only really good card is Brazen and Tamiyo. Because Murktide will never happen, neither will realistically Entomb Reanimate. I think I'm just gonna ponder, take it easy. See if I can find a threat somehow. This is not gonna do it. I'm a bit afraid of getting wastelanded, but I should have time to draw my lands. Okay, do I waste them here? I think I do. Just so they can't chain stuff together. Okay. Well. Let's draw some lands. At least when someday, many turns from now, when the hearse can attack, it will be lethal or something. Whoops. Here's the Tamiyo. Here's the Tamiyo. Okay, sweet. That is definitely what I needed. So now, yeah, it looks a bit bad that I wastelanded. I don't have that many cards, but Brazen is one of them, where the mana matters from Wasteland regarding playing spells. So, Ponder, so now they can flip Tamiyo. I guess flipping Tamiyo is not that bad for me. I only almost want them to do that because it's kind of slow ticking up. They don't even want to. Okay, well played. Let's brainstorm and find the goodies. Meaning lands. At least one. Okay. Gonna hide the ponder because that's what I need to get out of this. I have some protection here, but if they find another wasteland with all their card drawing, or just a bounce spell, and they can wiggle their way out of this for sure. Still, hers is representing kind of virtual card advantage. Thoughtseize, okay. Maybe they'll like take the Murktide and try to reanimate it or something, and I don't know if they don't have enough mana to go into them after that. So I guess it doesn't make any sense. On a future turn, maybe they did take they do take the Murktide. Makes sense. So shuffle. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Maybe I don't think they're gonna play into my Daze. I'm gonna draw a card. Yeah. It's a 9/9. Pretty close to getting there. Feel like I should brainstorm end of turn to kind of up the speed. Okay. So they've been playing to actively not bounce. I think that's a good play. Because once they once they flip, they can only really take up. They have 6 cards. They have so many cards. Okay, awesome. because Chandler attacks, and it. I guess I'm gonna. Like another Daze is bad. Playing around Daze is okay. I think I'm just gonna play the Chandler, and I forgot to activate hers, by the way. I think. Whoops. Now they can't just attack. I assume they have Dimir Reanimate, so I have to be careful with my hearse. Okay. So I can Wasteland Daze this. I think that's good. Then I keep Force up. And Wasteland is not doing much anyway. Another Daze, I don't think I want that. I have 5 cards. I have my hearse. It should have been one bigger. Gonna Brainstorm. I'm fine with that. Like the enemy dead, I assume they only play one. So if I can get a hearse attack in for almost lethal, I think that is worth it. One petty theft is gone. They could easily have more. So if they have that backed up with force, we're in big trouble. Wow, okay. We made it. Awesome. So, Reanimator. So we're expecting Barragoyfs. We want Pyroblast for Murktide and Tamiyo and Force. We want the Fairy Macabres. And I bought out 2 Baubles. I'm okay being less aggressive, getting Delirium. Bought out Force of Negation, Force of Will, 1 Daze. I still like Daze against the Barragoyf, and just being like a relevant card early. And 1 Wasteland. Yep. That was a crazy game 1. I'm sure they were very unhappy to face 2 pieces of graveyard hate game 1. And I just had like weak mana besides that. Otherwise it would have been smooth sailing. Ponder, okay. And off an island, like that tells me that they're not rushing to go to Entomb Reanimate. Even it feels like maybe they want to play Tamiyo Brainstorm, or go to good mana up to Barragoyf. That's what I read out of that. I'm gonna. Actually, I think I'm gonna play the Tamiyo. just in case they have Bowmasters. This is I do have Daze, but okay, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. And they have a Tamiyo. Okay. Tamiyo battle. I'm gonna get the island, I think, here. Do I get the island? It's pretty bad with these channelers. No, I'm gonna get the volcanic. Okay, plenty of lands. Sweet. So now we have a great Molten Collapse potential turn. Let's see how it pans out. Like, it's easy to Daze my Collapse, and if they don't spend their mana, it's okay. They Brainstorm. Perfect. Absolutely perfect for Collapse. So now I can, with the first mode, destroy the Planeswalker, and with the second mode, destroy the Clue token. Protected by Daze. That's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And what is Tamiyo gonna do? Like, I'm thinking if I have to Daze, I might bring back Daze. Think I'm just gonna tick up. Yeah. At this point, I'm soft to the combo. Maybe Daze is good enough, but probably not. Okay. So that's what I want to find, like on my turn. Do what I can, like play Chandler, then Ponder to find one of my graveyard hate pieces. They do what? Oh yeah, it's Brainstorm. It's not a Ponder. They been. I didn't see that. They binned an Atraxa with the Surveil. I didn't see that. So I'm in luck. Let's see if my luck continues. If a Daze is good enough. They have Force. Wow. Okay. What do they find? Entomb. Another Animate Dead. That's strong. They play more of those. Entomb, Reanimate, Animate Dead, a land, and explosives. I really need to find Graveyard Hate and get rid of Atraxa. Huh. Hmm. Like they're just gonna get it back with with any one of their. This is tough. Like if I find if I can take Brainstorm and theoretically find Macabre and Pyroblast, I can also just start like try and grind, and I'm gonna do that. I guess gonna do that. This is tough. Yeah. I was so excited that I can get that good collapse turn, and it was all for nothing. Like I don't imagine winning this game, even though I can do this one more time. But I also assume they can find a force of will. There's a force and a Murktide. Archon, which they can put like discard naturally. Inquisition. Feels like the Juju Bean list from the showcase with discard. It doesn't really play creatures in the board. Would make sense that people would want to try Juju Bean's list. Okay. That's just what they want to do. Okay. So I need to beat force. And okay, they don't discard. They discard push in alliance. What did they actually take? Tamiyo, Ponder, Force, Wasteland. Okay. So I need to beat the Force with my Force of Daze. Yeah. So they're gonna force. What do I play here? Like a Murktide? Hope that's bait enough. Like I didn't make it bigger because I want my channelers to have Delirium, which they'll have with Spellbomb. And I'm okay. So they ignore it. Maybe they ignore it because it's a 6/6. But which is fair. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna concede. That is too much for sure. Okay, so that's good info that they're on this kind of more discard engineered explosive sideboard plan. And they can't really do, like, they can't change it up much playing that list. That means that collapse is worse. Maybe too bad. I think I am happy getting in more stack interaction. And let's see. I think that's fine. I don't want Force of Negation. That's too much. So Tamiyo, I have plenty of answers still, 7 answers. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's very good. Like leading with Underground Sea is good because then I can Brainstorm and have Pyroblast up, I think. Or Brainstorm Bolts. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have played that land actually. The thing is I wanted not get dazed on my Brainstorm. But okay, I'm happy to pick up my own Daze. Definitely happy, and then I'm gonna am I afraid to get wasted here? I don't want the Tamiyo. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the. Oh yeah, sorry, I have. It's perfect. I just missed for a moment the number of lands. I was a bit worried only having 2 total to be able to pressure them next turn. So let's see if this is not what the game is about. If they have Entomb Reanimate with backup here, like then tapping out for a bolt is like not amazing. Wasteland, okay. That's good. That is very good for me. I feel like that means that they don't have any more lands because that strategy seems really bad when I have active Tamiyo. Like going after my lands. I could have Bowmaster or Petty Theft here. I feel like getting Brainstorm. Just kind of consolidate my advantage. Okay. Hers is good. Will it get dazed? Maybe. Maybe. Will it get dazed? If they have Entomb, that's also so like maybe they have Entomb Reanimate around Daze. I don't know. I think I have to try and shove here. They have a force. Okay. Pitching Atraxa. That's interesting. No Entomb. Okay. What are they sitting on? Maybe just the the half of the combo. They find their mana, maybe they're gonna discard me here. Yeah. So they have no more Atraxa. They have Archon left. They're gonna take the Daze, I think. I feel like I need to put on a clock. I think that's what's up. They take the Pyroblast, okay. So maybe they can ignore the Daze. Maybe they are hoping to get a Murktide going. But Tamiyo can get back that Pyroblast for a Murktide. Will my Daze do anything? It could. If they are on Entomb Animate Dead. Question is, I'm going to play the Murktide. Question is if I play another 1-drop as well. I don't think so. Because of explosives. And I'm going to do it like this so I can get back the Pyroblast on their Murktide. Now that I can Daze their Entomb Animate Dead without getting dazed. This is a tight game. It feels like a tight game. Of course, they might have all lanes in hand, but I am assuming the worst. Okay, Murktide. Nice. Can they... If they waste me... They're not going to waste me. They're playing around Daze. Well played. So if they have a force... Well... Yeah. The good thing about these creatures is that... Am I afraid of them having 2 days? No, I don't think so. I think I want to draw good cards. And another Daze is maybe good. Feel like that's going to be good. Still not playing more 1-drops though. This should be enough. Okay, Daze looking bad. And Tamiyo, that's fine. So now I'm okay playing another 1-drop. Do they have the Brainstorm? I guess so. Nope. Okay. I understand. Like, playing another creature here. Thing is... Can they afford to spend a turn doing... explosives? No, I don't think so. So, like, if they take a turn off doing that, I'm kind of okay. I'm kind of okay with that. We're gonna draw a card end of turn, by the way. Okay. I can also double Daze, but I'm like okay with this. Yeah. Okay, fine. They get their value, but I get them to 6, I assume. Reanimate on the Tamiyo. I guess I'll Daze that because it buys them a turn. Ponder is sweet. Let's lock the game up. With a spell bomb. I don't care that I won't draw a card. Now they need to bounce. Okay, they concede. Awesome. That was a sweet game to navigate. And I guess we're 2-0. See you for round 3. All right, welcome for the third round. The third round. My opponent played Nadu the last time, but they also like to play Tempo. My hand is not impressive. I will keep it because it plays magic, and in the dark I keep those hands. Magic playing hands. So Savannah might be like a kind of telling the story of having not so many lands, but maybe it doesn't say anything. I can force, and I think that's what I'm gonna do: force and waste, and hope that that kind of stops them in their tracks. That's a lot of lands. Well, I'm gonna find Brainstorm at some point, right? They have a land on top, but I'm kind of still just hoping that this can slow them down. But I really need some. Okay, so they have another land, nomads. So yeah, this is Bant Nadu. Yeah, this might be a quick one. Let's see, we know they have land, a fetch. I guess they want to get dazed here because they're planning to play a 3-drop pretty soon. That's why they don't play the land first. Of course we don't fall for that. With all our dazes in hand, we'll keep them for better targets. But like I hope I can ignore this nomads and find a brainstorm so I can swap 2 or 3 of these lands. They play a non-fetch. Wow. So they like their hand so much that they don't want to fetch, or that fetch is like they're protecting a color. Maybe they don't want to get green. Maybe they only have 1 Savannah, so they're forced to do it like that. Regardless, I'm in trouble if they have spells in hand. Yeah, that's a spell. That is good at finding other spells. So the one we saw, yeah. Ending. Yep. Yep. So we don't know any of their cards in hand. They have the mana. They just need like a Zenith or a Nadu. Basically anything else, which is kind of guess. Okay, Ponder is good. It's almost Brainstorm. Maybe it finds Brainstorm. Hmm. Thing is, bolding the Nomads won't save me if they have the Nadu. I'm still just losing in one way or another. Wasting is extremely mediocre. It is mediocre. Hmm. But maybe it's better than a random draw. No, I don't think so. I need to kind of high roll to a Brainstorm. I need something better. They don't do anything. Maybe they have more removal. It doesn't do much. Huh. Guess I'm cycling this now. Oh my god. Okay, well, it's difficult winning with only lands. I do not put up much of a fight so far. It feels like what is their hand? Force and maybe also lands and removal. In that case, I can use my Underground Sea, I think. So, the Murktide, just like that. I guess I'm gonna take it. I'm not playing any lands. I need a Brainstorm. I guess I can hope they have like 2 endings of force and a land in hand. Gonna Surveyor, yeah. Sorry for the noise, drinking noise. Okay, here comes the end. I'm just gonna concede. I don't have the patience for that. So, Bant Nadu, I'm just gonna check out their latest list, because why not? Only one-offs in the sideboard, that's pretty cool. Like, it's a very green deck, but I think Pyroblast, Molten Collapse. I mean, it's a way of getting rid of Nadu and Endurance. They have like €1. Cutter is good against the spot removal. The graveyard is really, it's only that euro. I guess I'm gonna ignore that and deal with it by collapsing or Pyroblasting it. Like the games, I'm not gonna play Negation. Brazen is pretty bad as well. Maybe just like this. 2 collapse. Is that the right number? I think so. I kind of have to lean into Daze and Force in a matchup like this. Again, I'm losing if we go too far in the round. Too far in the game, sorry. If we play too many turns. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. I mean, false is a bit bad, but beyond that, it's good. Maybe I can brainstorm that away. I don't think I want that. Yeah. They don't threaten my lands, and I have one more in the deck. A swords, okay. I like this to live. So, let's see. I assume they're gonna try to swords it before they play a creature. Island, wow. Okay. So, Hydroblast. Nice. Nice. And they can protect their mana. I think I'm just gonna try to find the land and a 1-drop. Okay. Do I think I'm gonna need this Parablast on their turn? Not really, but Bolt maybe. I think I'm just gonna hold up. Maybe actually get rid of the Brainstorm, then I can get Delirium at some point. Also hold up the Surveil, of course, so that's sweet. First, what is this? This is Carpet of Flowers. That's a problem. That is definitely a problem. I have Molten Collapse to deal with it. Okay. I think I need to just accept they have mana and try and trade off cards. They have that swords, so ideally I want to play another threat. They're gonna have a lot of mana. This is tough. Tough game. Tough game to maneuver. Because if I ponder for 1-drop and I play it, then I can Parablast the Nadu. But just playing Murktide into that sword seems bad. Okay. What if I just hold up mana and I play a Cutter next turn? With Daze backup. I'm gonna try that. It's not impressive, but it's good against their swords. And I actually think it can be pretty clutch holding up Pyroblast. And I actually think no, I'm not gonna do anything. I think I kind of gave too much of a tell there by waiting. But it's tempting to counter it. But I think it's wrong. Need to save my Parablast for the Nadu. This is definitely not going to be easy. Okay, planes. So they couldn't shuffle. Let's see if this cutter does something. Well, not yet. They might have ending, of course. Five mana. I think I'll be double dazing very happily here. Yep. Get a token. Now I can just play one land for the time being. Well, anyways. Huh. So they showed me Zenith, not Nadu itself. So I feel like it might be. Well, let's see. I can play Chandler, or I can wait. And yeah, I think I'm gonna play Chandler and see if they only have one swords. If they go for the Chandler, I think they will. Maybe then Murktide can go the distance. So what's coming my way? Ending. Okay. And they have swords as well, as we know. And a ponder. That's strong. I feel pretty unlikely to dodge swords and Nadu here. They don't shuffle. But can I just... I think I have to hope that this does something. Maybe they have like an endurance or something else that is not strong against the Murktide. If they just have Nadu, I can beat that. If they have swords, well, that's life. Life it is. Okay, they had both. And what do they draw? A Savannah. Okay. At least mana is not a problem. I think I need another cutter or something to win this game. And they need to have a very poor draw. Not exactly likely. Yep. He's both only really good in the early game to take out like halflings and maybe a Skycat Cup if they play it now. I'll be happy to have a bolt. Otherwise, finish the game. But we're far ways off. Yep. Like a Molten Collapse would be nice from the top. So, what am I trading? Give them 2 cards and hit for 3. Or trade this and a bolt. I guess so. Well, they wouldn't have it, so I'm gonna do it like this. Is there a point in waiting? I'm not sure. Ponder and a land. Okay. Here comes the third one. Yeah, this kind of a game is not winnable. Maybe they go for Euro. I think Nadu is, well, Euro is kind of game over. A bit more than Nadu. Endurance, okay. It's beatable. Not with those cards though. Only lands, okay. Think I'm gonna try and bluff the attack here. Okay, that's fine. This game is basically over. Just gonna wait for one more business spell, I think, from them. Like something a bit more permanent than endurance. Kind of permanent issue. Okay, I'm happy conceding. All right, well, no trophy this time. Let's see if we can get the 4-1. Welcome to the 4th round. My opponent played Reanimator the last 2 times, but it's like 3 months ago, so that could be a different deck for sure. They won the die roll, and I am keeping, even though, well, this might be a very good hand. But I don't have a 1-drop like proactive play, so that's kind of all I'm missing. And maybe Wastelands are bad. My opponent is thinking about their choice. So yeah, so far the matches: Bant Nadu, Death in Texas, Reanimator, pretty competitive decks. Sweet. Marshflats, okay, well, could be Reanimator. Yep. Well, I'm wasting, probably. Let's see if they take force. Now they know that. Okay, so they're on a Tamiyo plan. So am I. Still want to waste them. Still want to waste. Kind of forces them to fetch an island, which is decent. Okay, they want to surveil. Or entomb, of course. Huh. So now, like, if they have Daze back up, I'm in trouble. But that's also the case. I think this Tamiyo can wait. I think I'm just gonna do it like this. And surveil. And maybe play hers into Daze. Let's see. They do nothing. Interesting. What, they wanna brainstorm? Don't mind finding a land, actually. Yeah. So this is kind of risky. I could also ponder. Looking for. I actually feel like that's the play. I shouldn't have played this Wasteland probably, but I think it is good. Bowmasters. Huh. Bowmasters. So that's why they took the bolt. I feel I can take a turn off in a sense. Like take down my shield. So maybe they'll reanimate it, such is life, but they need like 3 cards to go like Underground Sea, Entomb, Reanimate to really make me sad. Murktide could be good. Murktide could be pretty good, but I don't really feel like I need this. Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It's not awesome, but maybe better than shuffling. Shuffling would be to get Daze of Force. Wasteland, okay. So it's not too bad having a land coming up. Tamiyo. Could really be in trouble. Like maybe it's just... Maybe I just have to kind of jam now. I feel like I have to jam into that Daze. Okay, sweet. And then maybe next turn I can play a Murktide. So what if they have a Murktide here? It's kind of what they're threatening. They're going to be able to play it regardless. It's basically just going to be one bigger with the Thoughtseize. I don't want to take the risk of like activating hers and let them Entomb Reanimate. Don't think that's worth it. Okay. Sure. Now they have 2 cards. I hope it's not a force. No. So it's pretty even Steven, but I feel like I'm ahead. As long as they don't have a petty theft here, then I'm doing good, I think. They have like 1 card extra here. They have more cards than me, for sure. If they flip the Tamiyo, then I'll start attacking. I might start attacking regardless, actually. They shuffled. No attacks. Yeah, nice. Don't want to grow their Murktide, which is definitely a thing. Hmm. Now, can I attack? I mean, I don't think so. Um, but maybe I can. They're gonna draw a card. Yeah, maybe I should attack. I shouldn't have played the Tamiyo before, but then they continue drawing cards, but then I also, yeah, okay, I'm gonna attack. I shouldn't have played the Tamiyo though. So now reanimating is risky, to say the least, if they get rid of the hearse. Bowmasters. Okay, that is strong indeed. But yeah, this is a tight game. Like this. Oh wow, they have Kaito. So I missed all this time. I thought they were playing Reanimator, but they're actually playing Dimir Tempo. All of these cards could be found in Reanimator. Now I am probably dead because they can take down Murktide. I don't know how much it changes in like what. Well, it of course means that my hearse would have been better off activating on that Thoughtseize when I smelled the Murktide. But otherwise, what do I do here? Is there any way I can get hers going? I think I should definitely activate here. And yeah, false is gone. Yeah. Am I dead? So this can be for. I might have to jump. jump with Tamiyo and hope to get Delirium. That is gonna be a tough sell. Drawing a card doesn't seem sweet. Okay, I'm just gonna play like this and say go. Like maybe I can draw another Chandler, and that can, with those two together, I can, well, now they can jump block the hearse. Like this, okay. Dum dum dum. How to survive? I'm not really sure if this can lead to anything, because they have so many jump blockers. Like a second Murktide could, how to play it. So can I, could get to Delirium. Like my Murktide can attack next turn. Fatal push, okay. So I think I need to draw a card, but when? I think a bit later. Not yet. Because if I do it now, they can like attack for a bigger chunk. Maybe ping my Tamiyo. Well, they wouldn't do that before it blocks, but oof, wow. So this is okay. Pretty fair looking. Having the room for Strix, that's tough. Fitting in that. What do they cut to have the room for Strix? Maybe they cut a Bowmasters or something. So they just go down here. Doesn't really matter, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna concede now. It is definitely not possible. So, Dimir Tempo with Strix. A lurking. Collapse for Tamiyo. Baragoyf. Definitely want my graveyard hate against another Goyf. Murktide. Not really necessarily looking to waste them a lot. Do want to get Delirium. I do want to get Delirium. Like Force of Will is not. It's not where I'm at. I think this is the way. I want to draw probably the same thing. Okay, another tough matchup. At least it's better with Tamiyo than with Delver. Okay, sweet hand. I really thought they were a Reanimator for a while. I think they... Like maybe it was in my mind, but I feel like the way they played it made sense as well. But that's probably... Yeah. It's difficult to say. So Strix is that's a beating. That's something you want to Pyroblast or Daze on the stack. For sure. Push, I'll be dazing that. Yeah, Murktide is valuable. I think it's because it's one of the better cards in the matchup. They don't have too many answers to it. Usually I'm happy to put a creature in the graveyard to get Delirium. The Daze, okay, that's awesome. Since I have another creature coming up and now it's closer to fruition. So that's pretty sweet. I'm just gonna Surveil. Like be ready to Surveil. And I'm gonna jam a Murktide. I hope they don't have a second Daze. Okay, I'll be bolting then instead. That does mean that I won't necessarily... oh yeah, no, never mind. That is Xyz to get Murktide going. Maybe they'll... Okay, so I think that smells like no Daze. I feel like that's the sign. So maybe they have like 3 or 4 answers beyond Kaito, like 2 Petty Theft and 1 or 2 Edicts, is what I imagine. So that's not nothing, for sure. Bowmasters here. Okay, they have an Edict. That's life. Let's find some gas. Like Brazen shouldn't be very, very good. Okay. So if I wait, I can flip on my turn. If nothing happens, I think I'm gonna do that. Wait to draw a card. I have 4 cards. Yeah. I'm gonna fetch before my turn. Surveil. Murktide. Okay. Good thing we have a Brazen. Let's see what they have on top. Thoughtseize. Okay, that's bad. Waste me now? No. So I don't think they have a Daze. Not gonna play around it. I don't think they had it before. Yeah, I think I need gas. Okay, Spellbound is a bit late to the party. Huh, so how much do I prioritize? I do think since I have this luxury, I am gonna play around Daze on my more important spell rather than get my Surveil. Just in case, because it's kind of yeah, game breaking if they did draw that Daze. Okay, that's a problem. That is a problem. Because maybe that was something I could read from them not wasting me. Well, let's attack and brainstorm. Find some good cards. Don't think that's what I want. Okay. Guess I don't want this spellbomb. Unless, wait a minute, I can bolt and spellbomb. I lose delirium. Bolt first, and then I spellbomb myself. And then it's 2/3. Guess I'm gonna do that. And then they can bowmaster my Chandler. It's pretty awful. Gonna keep that. Bergoif making life hard. So if they bowmaster me, then I'm in big trouble, for sure. Okay. But if they don't, I have Ponder into Wasteland, which might do something. Maybe I'm just drawing cards, actually. Here comes another one. Another Bergoif. Okay, that is totally okay with me. Okay, we have a normal game. No more scurrying for survival. Just gonna start with a ponder. And I'm not gonna prioritize the Wasteland now, for sure. That would only be to Wasteland then. 1, 2, Bauble, Tamiyo, okay. Not that the land is good, but I wanna be attacking. Yeah, and then I can play my Brazen Borrower. They have a ponder, okay. So still, Murktide and Bergoth are painful. But now we have a Chandler attacking. We have clue tokens, lands to crack. I mean, that's decent. We have a real shot in this game. We had a real shot in this game. Let's see if I can find a Molten Collapse. Okay. Gonna lead with drawing a card. So I can block and shoot my own Tamiyo, which is not good. But at least then I get them into bolt range. So I think I'm gonna do that. Life is tough against the Paragoyfs of the world. Maybe they don't attack with Tamiyo. They shuffle. Let's see. Okay, they do attack with caution. So, Molten Collapse, anyone? Yep. Yep. I think we are in trouble. Draw a card, find Molten Collapse. Would be extremely good at this point. Okay, well, now I think I can concede. Right. Yeah. Okay. That's life. Molten Collapse would have been awesome at several points in time. That's life. Let's see if we can get a 3-2. See you for the last round. All right, last round. Welcome. And my opponent played Mystic Forge the last 2 times and 5-0'd a few days ago. So I feel like there's a good chance there on that deck. And this is not awesome, but it doesn't take much for it to be good. So I'm gonna try and keep it. Kind of need a cantrip and or a land and or a force at some point. But maybe Daze is good. They mulligan, so that's something. My son is back sleeping at the wheel. Maybe I'll be sleeping at the wheel. Okay, so they kept 6. Yep, looks like it. Now, can we draw a land? Would be sweet. Oh yeah. Now we're rolling. It's not amazing, but kinda need that to play Magic. So I'm just gonna say go and draw a card. For mana, the magic number. Son is tired and needs to sleep, but he might be making a few sounds. Hope you can live with it. Lotus Petal, that's strong. So now it looks like they can play around Daze. And I'm gonna see if I can draw a force. And in this case, like I could draw my one-off collapse. I'm gonna try and do that. Like open up the door for that. Could also maybe hold on. So I'm back. We're not sleeping at the wheel yet. I'm gonna see if I can find a force. Like regardless, I want to dig deeper to find a force within the next couple of turns. So that's why I don't mind drawing some, or like not being able to play a 2-drop on my next turn. That's, I don't have Murktide anyways. So also Wasteland would be nice. Need to find waste and or force basically. Okay, tried to F6, didn't work. So Spellbound, that doesn't do much. Doesn't do anything, so I guess I'm surveilling and hoping they have nothing. Yeah, I'm definitely naked, so to speak. 6 mana. So just as kind of comparison, you can think about what Delva would do compared to Tamiyo. It wouldn't really be better in this case. Yep. And like I have no place. What will this find? Maybe a Pitting Needle on Wasteland would be a good play. Okay, no, just a grindy card. So let's see if we can draw Force and play a Murktide. That's kind of what we need. Brainstorm. I mean, it's definitely doable. It's definitely good. It's definitely good. I'm gonna brainstorm and oh yeah, look for Wasteland and Force basically. Okay, none of this is interesting. Yeah, whatever. So once again, I'm pretty cold. I guess I'm just gonna play a Tamiyo. It can block and stuff. But yeah, not finding like the key cards that I mentioned is probably gonna be the end of me. Can't give a Mystic Forge that much time and that much mana without any intervention. They can play a Forge now. Just gonna F6 and see, like with Fleshraker and Forge, I am probably dead. Maybe not literally dead, but as close as one could say. Like maybe okay with double Fleshraker. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna let them play it out. See how fast it goes. They can find something to draw more cards, maybe. Do they have more of this kind of stuff? Manifold Key. Yeah, that works to get more looks with Forge. Yep, okay. That was pretty efficient. Yeah, so Delver is good when you have those Ancient Tomb draws and you waste them and so on. Then that's kind of more efficient than drawing cards with Tamiyo. Let's see if my son wants to sleep. Yeah, and Force of Negation, of course. Happy to get rid of Bolts and Spellbomb and Hearse. Collapse can get rid of Fleshraker and things. Many things. I just need to cut one less card. Cori-Steel Cutter is maybe okay in a sense. I actually don't mind cutting one Tamiyo, I think. They don't really threaten Tamiyo, so if I find one, I don't need any more. Okay, here's one in a Wasteland. That's sweet. Definitely. Do I get a... Underground Sea here. I think I do. And I just want to dig for a Daze or a Force. Ugin, 7 mana. Ugin is so strong, but we should. The plan is to win before they have 7 mana. Another Wasteland is sweets. Okay, that's scary. Okay, nothing more sweet. We're in luck. So I guess they don't have a key. When am I playing this Bauble? Maybe right away. So finding no. Guess I'm wasting. I'm just thinking what I should. I'm just gonna draw into it everything, so it doesn't really matter. Just gonna kind of hope and pray, but this might be just not good enough. Not having the force. Force Daze, consign, that kind of stuff. Let's see what kind of mana. Okay, 4 mana. Yep, that works. So in this case, if you have a force, I wouldn't say the game is over, but it's pretty close. But now it's probably over in the other direction. And guess I'm looking for Force of Will still. Gonna take up. Okay, consign, that's nice. I guess I'm gonna try and go all the way with Tamiyo. And kind of hope that this is good enough. Let's see. Forcing and then consigning. Even if I go off with Tamiyo, it might not be good enough against them having the One Ring. Sun is he's tired, but he's not really. Maybe he doesn't like English, the English language. Portable Hoe. So let's see. They go Pedal, Portable Hoe. I'm gonna counter it, of course. Like, it's my plan. It's my only hope. And plus. And what do I... How do I play here? I guess Thundering Falls doesn't matter if I go off with Tamiyo. I have to say okay to this. So if I get to go big with Tamiyo, then I'm looking to play Murktide and just protect that with all I have. But like like Ugin. I need to like consign Ugin triggers. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna draw a card here. Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Drawing a card. Okay, let's get lands over here. I'm gonna play a Wasteland. I think, and Wasteland and Force. They have not that much mana. Waste because Saga gets a well, it does several things. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna waste first. Let's get my counter spells over here. And all these lands over here. I'll move to second main. It's tough keeping track of so many cards. So they're gonna lose 3 life, go to 12. Well, I'm just gonna make it as big as possible. So at this point, I assume they have many ways to challenge my like my hand. 4 mana, 5 mana. The One Ring is kind of the best card. Yeah. So I can even double Daze. I think I like that. Then what am I doing next turn? No, I'm gonna force. Pitch a cantrip. Because I might want to like play another Murktide and Wasteland or hold up Consign instead. I have infinite forces, so okay, they draw. So now I can just like ponder Murktide, something like that, and deal 8. Brainstorm. Yeah. It's not easy keeping track of that many cards. But yeah, I'm surprised we won this game. Very surprised. Tamiyo went the distance. Sweet, sweet. That's a different kind of tempo game. Just protecting the queen that way. Does anything change? I don't think so. Yeah. They show they play around Daze, but sometimes they can't. And it's a blue card for Force of Negation, Force of Will, so I'm just gonna keep them all in. So it's decent. I'm lacking a Force of Will, but if I get to untap, then I'm pretty glad. So let's keep. I mean, it's not oops all spells, right? We should be able to keep hands that don't have force. Is there a world where they do nothing? I don't think so. But yeah, Molten Collapse is also a reason to play a fetch, I think. Because Island means Collapse would be on a third land drop. So zap 3 mana, 4 mana. That's the One Ring. Can't really see that that's a colorless card, but we know. So at this point, I am looking for kind of force and like there's a lot of. I'm gonna brainstorm and see. Maybe I'm just gonna ponder afterwards. Okay, it's pretty sweet. They led on Tomb. Does that mean that it's the worst land? I mean, in a vacuum, you can kind of say that. I think I'm gonna take their Nexus, and maybe I can play a Murktide next turn. Collapse is not gonna cut it. What if I ponder instead, and then I force their play, and because that assures Murktide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I can Wasteland Murktide next turn. I think that's slightly better. Plus, I can get rid of some bad cards. Meltdown is bad, I think. Find another force. That is another force. So will Murktide double force do it? I guess I'm up for trying. Flesh Raker. That adds mana. If I Wasteland them, feel like I should force and waste, and then there's a world where they have just a couple of mana to work with. If they find a tower, they have 5 mana, but so be it. We have a dud on the top, for sure. Meltdown might be a dud. So, okay, they do nothing. We're in luck. We are in luck. So, let's see. Still need to attack 2 times. Monolith. I feel like they would have played a key if they had it, so I don't think they have a key. Yeah. If you draw a land, then we can Meltdown. Okay. So, 1 force against their 5 mana. Unless they have a tower, that's just 1 mana extra. The One Ring. Okay, sweet, we got there. Nice games. The record of 3-2 might not look impressive, but I thought the games were really sweet and showed some competitive gameplay against good decks. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you for the closing thoughts. All right, a few closing thoughts on this deck, which is my go-to deck list for this weekend. If I were to play in a general weekend, it's really between this deck and Reanimator, and I think if it's also a question of if you've been playing Reanimator for a long time these past months and doing well with it, then there's no reason to change. But if you have more like Dragon's Rage Channeler chops from back a few years ago, then maybe you'll do better playing with Izzet. I think these matchups really showed some of the tough matchups that you have to face. But they'll always be tough when you play any kind of tempo, like Bant Nadu, Death and Taxes. Maybe I missed another difficult one. Yeah, the Dimir Tempo. So that's kind of a mirror where I feel like it's very close when it's this Tamiyo build. They have the Trump in Baraggoyf, but like there are several points where a Molten Collapse would have been extremely good from our side and could have taken 2 permanents on their side of the battlefield. So it's one match doesn't tell the whole story, but I think between the bolts and the pyroplasts, we have like higher card quality in other spots where they have the good 3-drop. And to be honest, in a tempo mirror, I prefer having the good 1-drops, not the good 3-drops. That being said, I never tried 4 collapse, but who knows? Maybe that's better than the meltdown, or like a fatal push or something like that. That's definitely possible. With this small splash, there's a lot of room for tweaking. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. And if you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe. I put out videos every Tuesday of either like top tier tempo decks, including Reanimator, or at some point I'm gonna play more funky tempo decks as well. Maybe the Azorius one that is doing well from time to time with the cats. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and good luck if you're playing Eternal Weekend.